Hey everyone, welcome back to another Godzilla Battle Line video, and today we are going over the top units to invest to for the month of October 2021. Now, I know it's the end of the month when this video is going live, however, I still think that between now and when the new season starts on November 3rd, you have plenty of time to upgrade some of these units, some more so than others, and get them ready for the next season, because we don't know what's coming, what buffs, what nerfs will be seen next month, and I think that these 4 units are going to be pretty solid going forward in the months ahead. So I'll jump right into the list. It's going to be a short one for this month, but I think it's a good selection. First up on this list is one of the more new units that have been added to the game, and it's the Super X. Now, I see a lot of people talking about the Super X like it's not that very good and all this stuff. Let me try and break it down for you really quickly. So the Super X is a 3-star unit and it costs 3 energy, and the Super X has the best range in the game. Godzilla Ultima has really long range. The Super X has more range than Godzilla Ultima. I forgot his name for a second. Because of the long range of the Super X, this is a unit that usually needs to be dealt with immediately or you will suffer the consequences. For example, at level 30, the Super X doesn't have too much health at only 996 health, and this is what we're estimating, and I can include a link down below to our data table where you can see all these numbers. And its attack would be 186. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot of health and a lot of damage, right? Especially with an attack speed of 2.5 seconds. But the Super X, because it's such long range, it can hit your leader and your units from incredibly far away. And if you do not have a unit that is capable of countering this fast enough, it can wipe out an entire team if left alone. The Super X is pretty much a 3-cost turret that just sits in the middle of the map, away from the enemy leader and away from the enemy units, and just absolutely decimates the opponent's health, in addition to your actual pushing attacks that you're going to be doing with like your G89s and your King Caesars and stuff like that. So the Super X isn't really going to start seeing a lot of payout until you reach about level 20, and that's going to be similar to another unit on this list as well we'll talk about next. So at level 20 and up, the Super X is really going to start shining and get you some good damage in. It's really good now, so if you can get it up to as high as you can get it now, I recommend that. And I think it's going to see a lot of play in the future of PvP. Additionally, it has a lot of utility in the single player mode. Because of how far away it is from all your opponents, it stays alive for a while and can take down more enemies over time, and this is especially good in the early levels and even in the later levels for damaging some of the really high powered units like some of the Kongs that are thrown at you. I think the Super X all around is going to be seeing a lot of play, and I think it's a good choice to upgrade. Next up on this list is one of my personal favorite monsters, and I've talked about her a lot on this channel, and it is Hetero. Hetero is so great as a unit, and let me explain. Obviously, we know that she does great splash damage, and she has the on-death effect, and she's cheap. She's 4 cost, right? Well, she also got this season, midway through October, a buff, so she got a little bit more damage than normal. And I want to make it clear, before this buff, Hetero still was a very solid unit with very solid stats. But now post-buff, Hetero is seeing so much more play, especially in the higher ranks, because the splash damage is so powerful. There's only a handful of units in the game right now that can do AoE damage like Hetero can. 2 units that do splash damage, Desgadora and Kingadora, are both 4 stars, and then Jet Jaguar, who has a really great AoE attack, is also a 4-star. So, for a 3-star unit that is easy to level up, and really low cost at 4 energy, Hetero is an amazing unit that I think is going to be seeing a lot more play as time goes on. She's already seen a ton of play since the midpoint of the October update with Jet Jaguar, and it's literally going to be such a powerful unit going forward. Unless she gets nerfed again, there's no stopping this unit. She's great for clearing out other adds on the field in PvP and in PvE, especially on the farming nodes, checkpoints 10 and 25. She's super strong if you can get her up on the field. Next up is a unit that hasn't seen too much play since the early days of Battle Line. However, very recently has been starting to make a comeback, and for some good reasons. It's the 2 energy 1-star Komacurus, not the Swarm. This is the 1-star that has 3 Komacurus on it. So let me break down why this unit is seeing so much more play, especially at higher levels. Currently with the game right now, there's a lot of decks involving single target attackers and buffing units. So what do I mean by that? Godzilla Ultima is seeing a ton of play right now. Manila is seeing a ton of play right now. G21, not so much play. However, the Komacurus are very good against countering that. Additionally, a drawback for the Komacurus is a lot of AoE units are seeing a lot of play. King Ghidorah is seeing a lot of play. Jet Jaguar is seeing a decent amount of play. Hetero is on the rise with the amount of play that you're seeing with her. So, why put Komacurus in your deck? Well, we're going to circle back to those single target attackers. When you see a deck that's very single target attacker heavy, having more units on the field is going to be an advantage. So for example, this bites me in the ass every time I stream and we do the friend battles. My deck is very single target focused. I use Space Godzilla to buff Godzilla Ultima or to buff G89, and those are my primary damage dealers, Ultima and 89. Komacurus will help prevent my Terrestrius from evolving, and if my Terrestrius is locked on another enemy like a high level King Ghidorah or the enemy leader, the Komacurus, under no threat from my Ultima, will make very short work of him. Additionally, this goes for the same as Manila. Manila will target one person at a time, and as he's doing that, the Komacurus can work his health all the way down. Now, this isn't saying that the Komacurus are OP or anything, it's just a very good way to get rid of single target attackers that are, doing the most damage. With Space Godzilla seeing a lot of play these days to buff units, the Komacurus are a really good way to take his crystals down. You place the 3 Komacurus down, one of them will go after a crystal, maybe the other one hits the other crystal, and it takes 3 shots to get that unit completely off the board. Granted, they don't have too much health, but you can really use them to clear out these kinds of buffs that are on the field that Space Godzilla provides. And additionally, they're really good at protecting evolution units, since they at least will help you get 3 free shots away from your unit. So if you place Godzilla Terrestrius on the field and then the Komacurus right on top of them, they will form a buffer basically around Terrestrius, and if an Ultima is targeting them, let's say, he'll probably end up targeting the Komacurus first because they're going to be in front of Terrestrius. Overall, the Komacurus have a lot of utility, and especially at higher levels, are seeing a lot of play to help evolution units that are ground-based, as well as take down the Space Godzilla crystals. Finally, for the list of characters that I had written down, I didn't know if I was going to include him or not. I was thinking about putting Fire Rodan on this list because the healing is so great, but honestly, you only really need a level 1 Fire Rodan once you have it evolved, and you can drop those heals. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Instead, I've chosen Desgadora to be the final member of this list. Now, a lot of people aren't really using Desgadora, and it's difficult to use him in general, honestly, because of how easily he can be stun locked. And I know that doesn't make a great case for him, but his damage and health are on par with regular King Ghidorah, except that Desgadora can shoot, instead of an AoE, like side to side, he's going in a straight line down. So that can be good, but that is extremely situational. And he, on spawn, stuns units within his field of AoE and burns them for 8 seconds. Now, the burn damage isn't very strong, but the stun and the burn will help your team do more damage to those units before they can reach your leader or any of your other main damage dealing units. So I do think that Desgadora is chock full of great abilities and great power. He is just a little slow. The reason he's on this list is because he is only available in offers that you can buy with actual money, and he's only available once a month, it looks like, from the event store for, at the most we've seen, or I guess at the least we've seen, 1,500 of the event tokens. You should be getting these free 1,500 cost Desgadora tokens every single month. Desgadora should be your top priority in the store. Toho really has tried to make it seem like Desgadora is going to be an OP and powerful unit, and he's just extremely underperforming in PvP. I have a feeling that we'll see probably a slight buff to Desgadora in the future, and if you do not buy these pieces while he's free for you in the store, you're going to set yourself behind the other players who are actively buying these pieces for him. We're obviously always going to be set behind the whales who are buying pieces. I think there's a level 12 Desgadora running around in the top 100 right now, but for free-to-plays, we all have a level 1 Desgadora, and you don't want to be that person that when the next event comes out, you have a level 1 and everyone else has a level 2 because you didn't buy him the first go around. Desgadora, I think in the future, is going to shape up to be an incredibly strong unit. It's very strong in PvE, but in PvP it's very lacking, and I have a feeling that Toho will come and buff him up because they're going to be wanting people to spend their event tokens on this unit that they said is supposed to be like the new OP, goated, powerful unit. And there you have it. That is my list for October 2021 on what units I think are going to be beneficial to you in the future and what is worth upgrading. If you like this video, let me know. If you have any suggestions on maybe a unit that I skipped out on or any other strategies for units that I talked about in this, let me know down below. We're so close to celebrating 1,000 subscribers and we're incredibly close to celebrating Godzilla Day. I have something planned for both Godzilla Day and 1,000 subscribers, so that will be pretty nice when I can finally put those videos out. Additionally, we've been streaming a lot more on YouTube, so if you want to check out some live gameplay and commentary and interact with fans of the game, join in on the channel because we're streaming more frequently now on YouTube than we ever did on Twitch. So thank you guys so much for watching and your support. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.